Welcome to the Commissioner's Corner. I'm Fort Bend County Commissioner Grady Prestage. When cities and counties, states, and other local governments want to build big-ticket items like roads or public buildings, and they lack the money on hand to build these projects, they have to borrow money. And the way these local governments borrow money is by selling bonds. A bond is just a piece of paper that you issue to an investor to raise money to build your project, and you pay them back at a predetermined interest rate over a period of time. In order to borrow money or sell bonds, oftentimes you have to go to the voters and ask for the authorization to do so and the authorization to levy whatever taxes are necessary to repay that debt over time. These are called general obligation bonds. Fort Bend County will be having a bond election in November of this year to do just that, to ask the voters for approval to borrow or sell bonds for $185 million to fund road and bridge projects throughout Fort Bend County. While the county cannot advocate for the passage of these bonds by saying vote yes or vote no for these bonds, they can only provide information. And that's my motive today on the Commissioner's Corner. To structure the list of projects for consideration, I use a certain number of criteria, 5 to be exact. The first, I wanted to have projects that provided infill development. Fort Bend County has developed primarily by the development of planned communities. And it's usually a planned community is one that there's a significant amount of acreage and you can plan every aspect of that community. Oftentimes these planned communities are far out, so you leave behind a lot of areas that could be developed if they had adequate access via roads. So infill development is my first priority. My second priority is connectivity. Oftentimes when developments are put in, developers only put in just the roads they need to sell their properties. And there are a lot of areas that are left incomplete, where a boulevard section needs to be done or a bridge needs to be built. So connectivity is my second goal. A third goal is to try to improve underserved areas. Oftentimes we see areas where you have 4-lane concrete roads and all of a sudden it turns to a 2-lane asphalt road that might have a detrimental effect on whether that area will develop or not, or the people who live in those areas don't have the political stroke to get local government to complete those projects or upgrade those projects. So serving underserved areas is my third priority. My fourth priority is to find partnerships with cities and other private developers to try to leverage the limited dollars we have to get these projects done. And finally, my fifth priority is safety. Oftentimes we have a lot of roads that have just lived their usefulness and they are not safe roads. Now's our opportunity to correct that. For a full list of projects slated for this November's bond election, check out the link on our newsletter. There you see all the projects that are slated to be considered in Precinct 2 and throughout Fort Bend County. Thank you. That's the Commissioner's Corner. See you next time.